What's going on, my peoples? This your boy, Mr. OBF, back one time for your mind. Make sure you, welcome to the OBF, the network, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF The Real Cash App and donate to the channel, people. We highly appreciate anything you guys could donate to the channel. Need more information to subscribe and donate to the channel? It's down there strolling below the screen, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button when you come in and out of the building, and make sure you guys share the videos, man. It keeps the movement pushing. All right, man. I've been sitting on this story for a minute because I wanted to really somehow, some way figure out how can I still be respectful to this dude's mom. And I just couldn't see how I could. So I guess I gotta be real on it. Right? I can't see any way possible that I could be respectful to this woman's mother. And the reason I say that is because I don't know if she's delusional or if she's just a self-destructing person, right? Like she's like, some mothers can be bad, right? Parents can be bad. They could be bad influences. They could be bad help raising their kids. They could just be horrible parents. And I get that her son is dead. I get her son has got murdered. I get that Vaughn most likely put a bounty on his head. I get all that. But I want to be very, very clear about where I stand at with this. That's what happens when you in that street life. I don't give a damn about Mama Duck talking this bullshit she get ready to talk about. Because you can't have one foot in the game and one foot out the game. That's not how it works, Mama Duck. It happened to Nipsey. It happens to plenty of these rappers, and your son is not that goddamn special for this not to happen to him when you're playing around with both sides, or you're in the streets. This is what happens when you in the streets. Niggas put bounties on your head, anything goes. Niggas will kill your family members. Nigga rob you, whatever. This is what happened when you are part of that street shit. So, Mama Duck, as much as I want to be respectful towards you and have some empathy and sympathy for you, I don't. I'm sad that your son is dead. But I don't feel sorry for you. Because I don't know which kind of game you're playing, and I don't know if you is living in this weird ass la la land. But this shit is trash. At this point, you trash. But let's get into it. Let's listen to Mama Duck explain herself or why she's suing Dirk and suing King Von estate, and because you suing his kids from their money. Basically, you're suing King Von's mother. Her son's dead too. So, like, it just is what it is. Let's just get into this, people, because she already got me hot.
Me, as if my son ain't got 4 kids, as if my son wasn't an artist or a magician. Y'all say he was this street nigga. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. In reality, the reality is, he ain't want them dead that much.
Tom, you say you don't care that he was a street nigga. So why do we give a fuck about your son being dead? Why would we care about him getting a bounty on his head? Why would we care about that shit? Cause you don't care. You don't know how many lives that your son didn't took. You don't know that because you know why? You said you don't care. First you said, I remember a couple of years ago you said, my son wasn't a street dude, but he was in the streets. He was talking how he was in the streets. He was rapping how he was in the streets. He admitted that he was in them streets. And then you decide to come with the bullshit. My son is not a street dude. So your son, your oldest son, he wasn't in the streets either that got killed. He wasn't in the streets either. None of your goddamn kids is in the streets. Then you said he didn't want them hurt. Bullshit. Not physically. Yes, he did. He talked about it. So I don't understand. Do you believe his raps or you just said it was just music? Because first of all, he could have rapped about something else then. If he wasn't this street dude, he should have rapped. He should have been on some J. Cole shit. But he wasn't. Your son made a song called Dead Bitches. He named every last one of King Von's and Little Durk, all they did homies, and said, fuck them, I pissed on their grave. He said all that shit. He rapped about that shit, man. But you don't care about that. And then she get ready to say some bullshit. Let me go back a little bit. Let me go back. Because she said some bullshit that pissed me off. Hold on.
Son ain't got 4 kids, as if my son wasn't an artist or a magician. Y'all say he was this street nigga. I don't give a fuck about none
Hold on,
of that
Tom.
shit.
You said magician. You mean musician? I'm being petty. I'm being petty here, people. I'm being petty because I fuck up words too. Shout out to my brother Bell in the building. What up, brother Bell? He said Mama Duck is straight up clowning. Yo, she on some bull type of shit. Yeah, listen, man. I don't think people this stupid. I believe people just ignorant as fuck. And it's a difference from being ignorant and stupid. We're amongst some stupid motherfuckers, but I just think some people just ignorant as fuck. And she's just ignorant. But anyway, let's move on.
In reality. And the reality is, he ain't want them dead that much. Not in the physical, when he was killing them.
Make your mind up. He didn't want them dead that much. And then you say, he didn't want them dead that much. He didn't want them hurt physically. Mama Duck, come on now. Who you think you talking to? Let me do this for Mama Duck. Cause I made it out the game. I was a street nigga like that too, right? Listen, when I was in the streets, any nigga that was beefing with me that was an op of mine, I wanted them dead. Physically. I ain't give a fuck about just hurting them. Or no, I wanted them dead. That's a real street dude. So it's two things. Your son really wasn't like that, or he was like that and you lying. Or you didn't know. That could be the third thing. But either way you pick, either one of those is fucked up. Because if he wasn't like that, he shouldn't have never been rapping like that. If he was like that, and you playing stupid about who he really was, then that's even more fucked up. And if you didn't know, that's even more fucked up. And I'm still trying to figure out how you ain't know he was a street nigga. Mama, listen, let me tell you something. My mama ain't never seen me do a goddamn thing. My grandma was none, my aunts, uncles, nobody. They ain't never seen me sold a drug. But they knew I was a street nigga. Fuck out of here. And I don't think Mama Duck did not know her son was a street dude. The fuck out of here. Mama Duck, you need to get your shit together. Let me go back a little bit.
Not in the physical, when he was killing their ass on the diss songs, on the raps. He had already won. They got that fucking frustrated. He had to go, and everybody was happy, and everybody making songs and all this shit.
What the fuck are you talking about, Mama Duck? First of all, I ain't trying to not. God rest his soul, FBG Duck. Nigga wasn't popping like that. He was a local rapper. The fuck are you talking about? Dirk was mainstream. Vaughn was mainstream. He was bigger than your son. What the fuck are you talking about? The only reason your son is even known of far as him getting killed, right? Because usually you hear about local rappers getting killed. That shit be local. Okay? They're talking about that shit local. His shit made it big like that because number one, because of the internet, and number two, because King Von made him big. Listen to the niggas that knew Duck. Listen to the niggas that knew King Von. They said King Von used to make songs and told Duck, hey, nigga, I'm getting ready to make you famous, nigga. I'm getting ready to make you famous. When he made it, what is it? Welcome to the O. I think that's the song. He called Duck before he put the song out. Before the video, all that shit came out. He hit Duck up and was like, nigga, I'm getting ready to make you famous, nigga. Duck was local. Not knocking his career, but Duck was local. He was on his way to, he had a little deal. He was on his way. But he wasn't bigger than King Von. He wasn't killing them like that. Von was killing them niggas like that. It wasn't even Dirk. Listen, if King Von was still alive right now, he'd be bigger than Dirk. He'd be the biggest artist. The fuck are you talking about? Your son was local. King Von was a bigger star. He was mainstream. What are you talking about? He was killing them on the diss songs. No, he wasn't. This shit is all stupid talking about dead homies and shit. Don't get me wrong about that. But no, he was. No, he wasn't. He wasn't killing Von in them on that. Von, listen. If you hear every song Von talk about, he's dissing the shit out of them niggas. Every song. Damn near, I say, put it like this: 90% of Von's songs, he was killing them. He was naming these niggas. He was dissing the shit out of these niggas. I keep telling y'all, it wasn't a bigger star. And he could have been even bigger. He would have been a superstar if he'd have lived. Listen, it was no bigger star that rapped that gangster shit like that. And with that dissing dead homies and all that shit, it was no bigger star than King Von. Nobody. Nobody did that shit like him. Cause like I keep telling motherfucker, his shit was believable. A lot of these niggas, when I hear a lot of these niggas rap, I'm not saying that they ain't in the streets, but they just don't, like, it don't sound believable. A lot of that shit. I always tell y'all this. And this is when I knew King Von was who he said he was and who motherfuckers say he was. It's one thing your homies saying what they say about you. It's another thing when your ops or niggas pretend on the other side. We don't know, nigga King Yella. I don't know that nigga. I ain't never seen that nigga. You a liar. You are a liar. A lot of these niggas, I don't know him like that. I don't know that nigga. You knew him. Fuck out of here. How you don't know a nigga that's beefing with your side? The fuck out of here. Listen, people, it's about a 10% chance that if you in the streets, you don't know the niggas, you know, about 10% of the niggas you don't know that you, of a clique of niggas you beefing with. 10%. The other 90%, you know who over that bitch. You know who like that. If you really a street nigga. If you really trying to kill niggas. You know. Or you know who trying to kill you. For a lot of them, when I seen a lot of the niggas that hung around Duck was pretending King Von wasn't like that. He ain't like that. We don't know that nigga. I knew these niggas was lying. I knew right out the gate, you could tell when niggas be lying. That's how I knew King Von was who he said he was. I just, listen, my whole thing with Shorty, I just wish Shorty would have just, because I believe if he'd have just kept getting bigger, he would have matured out. Because if you hear from all his niggas, yeah, he was a killer. He was like that. But the nigga had a good heart. And a lot of times you can't catch niggas in the street with good hearts. Niggas are just pussy. Or they just pure evil. You rarely get niggas that get busy and still got a heart. It's very rare. The crazy shit about it was who King Von was as a person. I relate to that because I was like him in a way. Right? I was a savage nigga, but I had a heart. Like, it was certain shit I wouldn't do. Right? I cared about my niggas. I would go to the ends of the earth with my niggas. I give my niggas my last. I make sure my niggas is eating. That's the type of nigga I was. Right? But you fuck with my niggas, I get savage. You fuck with me, I turn into a savage. It just be that way in the streets. But you rarely catch niggas like that. That's why like a nigga like King Von and Nipsey, I can relate to those niggas. I can't relate to niggas that talk way too gangster. Like nigga, you okay, cool. I mean, it's not like I don't know niggas like that, but them niggas usually get killed very early. They don't last long. Them niggas wind up getting killed early or they go to jail early. And they do crazy time. I've been around real killer niggas, like real niggas ain't give a fuck about nothing. Ain't have no heart. Nigga, they didn't care. And them niggas is dead or they in jail. Plain and simple. Bitch niggas go either way. Right? They can go either way. They could be robber niggas. They could go to jail for the rest of their life. They could die. Like, there's so many ways that bitch niggas can go. Right? So, let's move on. Let me go back just a little bit.
Already won. They got that fucking frustrated. He had to go, and everybody was happy, and everybody making songs and all this. Y'all can suck my. You know what? I'm gonna keep it ladylike. I'm gonna keep it ladylike. But y'all know, and for any mother that feels that they didn't have the strength to go after these motherfuckers that's playing with their sons or their daughters, I hope I encouraged y'all enough.
Let me say this. Mama Duck, you setting a bad example. You really setting a bad example. I don't know. Listen, people. I'm not a woman. Not a mother. I get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. Right? Listen. I'm just a former street nigga. Listen. When you in the streets, you in the streets. I don't know how people are trying to justify niggas that do shit in the street. I don't understand it. If you ever hear me, listen, people, when I talk about street shit, I never justify it. It's nothing to justify. When you in that shit, you in it. It is no like, I don't understand. Like, it's unjustified. Like, unless you in them streets, then you can like try to justify your bullshit and justify the shit that's going on. But for people that's outside of this shit and pretend or they pretend they don't know about it or they know about it, they really, like, you can't really, like, for me, you can't say shit to me about the streets. Because you never lived it. You never was in that shit like that. So you, like for her, I don't know how, on one hand, you live in the hood. You lived in that shit your whole life. You know what happens in the streets. But you're a mother, I get it. But then you're sitting here trying to act like your son was this angel. He was not. He was a street nigga. That's what comes with the streets. Listen, people. I know my mom and my dad probably would have been heartbroken. Broken. If I'd have died in the streets. I know. I seen their faces the 2 times I came close to death, a part of the street shit. I seen their faces. I seen the worry. I knew. But let me just say, man. I know for a fact that my mom and my dad would not say, they would not even attempt to justify anything that I did in them streets. Not nothing. And I wouldn't want them to. Listen, even if I was naive about the streets, I knew what the fuck I was getting into. You don't think my mom or my grandma, my uncles and aunts and my dad and people, cousins and motherfuckers tell me, like, yo, you know what come with that? Like, you think I didn't have them conversations with them? And so I'm just saying, I know Mama Duck had them conversations with her two sons that died in street violence. I know she had when they was alive. I know she did. So for her to sit up here and pretend like she don't give a fuck about none of that, what? Pretending that your kid is some type of fucking angel. No, no. God rest his soul, but that nigga was no angel. Listen, I keep trying to tell y'all, man, everybody don't get lucky to get out the streets. And like I told y'all, it depends how much dirt you put into the streets. Like, if you really, like, you gotta understand, this nigga Duck was mocking niggas' dead homies, putting a target on his back. For some odd reason, his mama acting like that shit don't matter. What the fuck are you talking about? That's like, I knew when we was, like, because times was different, right? And I was growing up in the 90s, I was in the streets. Listen, niggas used to go around, I mean, I didn't do that shit, but a lot of niggas used to go around and mock. Well, not, kind of, yeah, mock and, like, say what they did to niggas. And you know, to their homies. And it might be some nigga that ain't even really with the crew really like that, and this nigga is around, or a chick is around, and then she go around and tell niggas, and then they reach back to the niggas homies that you done did some shit to. And now them niggas know who did it. And now there's a bounty on all him and his niggas. Because they ain't just gonna try to, if they can't get him, they gonna try to kill his niggas. I don't know how Mama Duck acting like, if your son is mocking their dear homies, what do you thought was gonna happen? And let me say this too. You know why a lot of these young niggas is dying? On real talk, is because of the simple fact that you don't speak ill about the dead. Regardless. You just don't. Nigga gone. Even if he your enemy, your op, nigga, you leave that be. He dead now. Even if you didn't do the shit. You don't mock it. You don't mock that nigga is dead. Because you most likely know a homie that did do it. You leave that shit be, bro. That's why these young niggas is dying, man. Because you cannot keep speaking ill of the dead. It's bad juju. It's bad karma, people. It's like a nigga, like, just think about it. I ain't in the streets no more. If I ran to a nigga that I was beefing with, if less that nigga was on that bullshit energy, he's still on that energy. Well, I'm 40-something years old, this nigga still on that energy, then that's something different. But if I see that nigga, man, I'm be like, hey, bro, even if he kills some of my homies, that shit come with the streets, bro. Just is what it is. Now, mind you, I tell a nigga, you know I can't fuck with you, though. You killed my homies. But, nigga, I see you. Ain't no beef. We ain't gonna be friends, but ain't no beef, nigga. I ain't gonna, you know. Not gonna happen to you when you're in my presence. Because that comes with the streets. I'm a grown-ass man, dog. This woman is grown. She know better. You gotta understand, yo, when motherfuckers in them streets, you in that shit. So whatever the fuck happened, now you get out of that shit don't matter no more. Whatever. Niggas killed your homies, whatever. That don't matter. That shit is dead. You don't get the like you still like mad about that shit. I'm not mad about nothing that happened in the streets. Only thing I'm upset about is how I help hurt my community. That's it. That's the only thing I'm upset about. But other than that, nigga, I'm not dead. I'm not mad about niggas killing my dead homies and shit like that. And like, for what, bro? I ain't even part of that lifestyle no more. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna risk everything that I built to go kill these niggas? If I didn't get to do that shit when I was in the streets, it ain't no reason for me to go back and do anything. Now that I'm out the streets, I got a family and shit. I'm a family man, nigga. I look like going back. I see a nigga killed my homies or something. Like, nigga, up the police, man. People crazy, man. Mama Duck, and the bad part about it, Mama Duck should be ashamed of herself. I don't know if she pretending not know who her son was, or she don't know who her son was, which I highly doubt that she didn't know this nigga was a street nigga. But for her to sit here and pretend that she don't know how he was in them streets is bullshit. I'm highly offended. As a former street nigga, I'm highly offended of this woman sitting here pretending that shit. Because I know damn well if I'd have died in the streets, my mom and dad, they know, nigga. They knew. Let's move on.
I hope I encourage y'all enough. Okay, my son was really trying to get up out this stuff. He ain't go as far as getting a Von or a Dirk lookalike put in his videos. Let's not forget that. Okay? Let's not forget that. I love the trolls. Thank you. I'm doing something right. Y'all are so mad. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. But I'm glad I don't know y'all and ain't got to worry about y'all. Except being some keyboard ass beaters. If y'all beat y'all meat more than y'all beat these keyboards, then maybe y'all be on something. Because y'all be beating them bitches. Okay? Who is your brother and who the fuck is you? Stop speaking on your brother. Let me add you. You are, cause bitch, I can speak on any motherfucking body I want to speak on. You gonna do something? Nah, you gonna talk shit on this keyboard.
Yeah, I want to know, like, why you suing King Von?
Why I'm suing King Von?
Yeah. Why you suing him?
Who are you?
His sister.
His mama's daughter?
His father's daughter.
You and KB, y'all sisters too. Girl, bye.
Did not have anything to do with Kayla. I'm just asking a question.
Girl, you need to go ask the lawyers that. Don't ask
No,
me.
I'm asking you. You're suing them, but
She's saying, don't ask the lawyer. I mean, don't ask me. Go ask the lawyers. But you the one sitting out here. This lawsuit don't happen. So the lawyers just said, hey, you know what? We're going to go sue King Von. That ain't how that. Listen, Mama Duck, sit your ass down. Oh, you are a disgrace. You are a disgrace. You are a part of why the black community is fucked up. How about that shit? I was trying to be nice, bro, but this woman is absolutely out of her fucking mind. She said, you go talk to the lawyers. You the one called the lawyers. The fuck are you talking about? She asked you a simple question. Why are you suing King Von? You shouldn't even be suing Lil Durk. And listen, and I'm going to say this on some real talk. I hope she don't win. I hope she don't win. This woman is a disgrace. She's a part of the reason why the black community is fucked up. She's a part of it. This woman is, listen, man. How about this? You remember in the beginning of this shit, she said that her son was doing all this shit. He was out dissing them and everything like that. But he ain't make more money than King Von and them. And I believe that's why you suing them. Talking about she gonna sue the Louis Vuitton store because they should have had better security. What? It's a fucking store. It was in a great neighborhood. You gonna sue them for what? They should have had better security. For what? Your son was local. I guarantee you, ain't nobody in that motherfucking Louis Vuitton store knew who the fuck he was. How about this? If your son was who you say he was this big rapper and all this other shit, why he ain't had security? How about that shit? I'm gonna tell y'all something. King Von got killed because of King Von. Right? Any of them niggas that was King Von ran with his niggas. His niggas was his security. And on top of that, he had security. These are facts. King Von got killed because of King Von. That's like King Von's mother going to sue what's his name, Tim or whatever, you know, going to sue him. What the fuck is she talking about? Your son was supposed to be this big, this guy. He at least should have had at least about 10 niggas with him. Listen, people, I keep saying this. These niggas talk a big game. Everybody want to be real. Be this most thorough niggas. Listen, I'd rather be safe than to try to sit out here and pretend, oh, I'm this most thorough nigga. Nah, nigga, I want to be safe, nigga. If I'm moving around, I know I'm profile and I'm like that. Nigga, I'm moving around. Listen, I'm going to have about 10 of my niggas. And I'm going to have me some security. On top of my niggas. Let me say this. Two things. FBG Duck died because of him, because of his bad karma of dissing the dead. That's part of it. The other part is, listen, it was just his time to go. I know niggas killed him, I get that. But you put out that type of bad karma like that, dissing the dead, nigga, what the fuck you think gonna happen? Shout out to my brother talking in the building. What up, Talk? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Your son is dead because of your son. Partly because of him, but the other part is, it was his time to go. And she can sit in denial all she want and pretend that her son was this good person and all this other bullshit that she on. But your son, you don't know what your son was doing in the community, terrorizing people. You don't know that. Because most likely, if you're a street nigga, most likely you are terrorizing somebody. And let me be honest about this. Listen, from what I have seen and what I do know, Duck was the head of his clique. He was that nigga. I mean, you got your lieutenants, you got a nigga that's in second command or some shit like that. But he was the head of his clique. My understanding of seeing a lot of them niggas was scared of Duck. Even his niggas. He was a good nigga, but they was scared of that nigga. Imagine, people. This is what I learned in the streets. This is why I tell you a little bit, right? I understood about the streets. Your niggas can't fear you. If they fear you, they'll snick you. It ain't, listen, believe it or not, people think it's about your niggas respecting you. They're gonna respect you anyway if you get down like that, right? Your niggas can't fear you, though. They gotta love you. And if your niggas, if you putting fear in your niggas like that, them niggas don't love you. Them niggas will backdoor you real quick. They will leave you hanging too. And I understood that. I was loved by a lot of my niggas. Right? Of course you get some niggas that's just grimy niggas that take advantage of you. Or try to take advantage of you, do some snake shit. That's just the game. But 95% of my niggas love me. Still to this day. Didn't fear me. And I didn't want them to, because I don't fear them. I don't just respect my niggas, I love my niggas. You gotta, your niggas gotta love you, bro. But if you sitting out this motherfucker putting fear in your own niggas, nigga, good luck with that. Excuse me. Listen, I always tell niggas my motto when we was in the street. That's why my niggas respect me and love me, right? Listen, we had this thing with me and my niggas, right? If I gotta fight you, throw blows with you, we ain't family. We ain't family no more. Cause I looked at my niggas like family. We ain't friends or family no more. I should never have to put my hands on my niggas. Unless you really do some real grimy, cruddy shit to me. Then if you did that, then nigga, you broke the trust. You broke the trust. And if I did it, yeah. But your niggas should not fear you. It's like even in the streets, like even niggas that don't really rock with you like that. Even if a nigga think you a pussy ass nigga, he gotta respect you at least. Your ops gotta at least respect you, even if they think that you whatever. They second guess of trying you. But your ops is ops. They don't. Do they really respect you or feed you? They kind of really don't. Cause everybody can get got if you my op. But your niggas, no, your niggas fuck fear. If your niggas fear you, something wrong, bro. Your niggas gotta love you. They got willing to put their life on the line for this shit. I don't know if niggas got the gang fucked up or not, but that's just how that goes. But I always said, I done seen niggas that was niggas that we fuck with. And I fuck with niggas like that. And niggas was going around. It was like, they wasn't like really with my clique, but you know how you know other niggas and other cliques or whatever, right? And niggas was like put fear in the niggas that they fuck with. Right? They supposed to be they niggas. And we came to find out a lot of them niggas, a couple of them niggas we talking about, got backdoored by their own niggas. It shit happened to one of the niggas that I knew. He was connected to my clique. And he got backdoored. I had just seen the nigga. I was just talking to the nigga. Showing them love, whatever. Couple me and my niggas. Showing them love. We like, all right, yo, we holler at you. We walk up like two or three blocks. Yeah, no, a block and a half to the bar. And all we hear is, boo, 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 boo. He get killed by a nigga that he was supposed to be cool with. That shit happens. Like I said, I don't know exactly what the fuck really. No, I ain't gonna say that. I do know what happened. But they backdoored the nigga because the nigga was terrorizing shit. He didn't do it to my niggas, but the niggas that he was fucking with, he was cool with, he was terrorizing them niggas. Them niggas was scared of him. And they took his ass out. I seen this shit happen multiple times. That's just one time I'm telling y'all about. I seen this shit happen a lot, bro. Niggas fear you like that. Nigga will backdoor you. They will take your ass out. You don't, your niggas can't be scared of you, bro. All your niggas need to know is that, nigga, shit go down, I got you. I get busy with you. And I love you. That's it, nigga. I don't want, that was one thing about me and my niggas. We ain't fear each other, bro. We respect each other, but we knew niggas, even fuck the respect is automatic, but we knew, we wanted to know if niggas, if some shit go down, nigga, is you gonna get busy. That's all we cared about. We didn't really, like all that other shit trying to scare each other, who was tough. We knew niggas was bigger, niggas was stronger. Some niggas that can throw them hands. Some niggas can wrestle. Some niggas, I mean, who can fight, who can't fight. Right? You know what I mean? So we was like the type of niggas, if you couldn't really fight, nigga, we gonna teach you how to fight. Like, we was like them type, like my clique, yo. That's why my niggas is my niggas to this day. It ain't too many of my niggas that I fell out with, like, if them niggas called me and be like, yo, blah, 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 I'm in trouble, blah, I need you to help me out with some shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, nigga, I got you. I won't be like questioning niggas like that. You know what I mean? Because I knew who my niggas was. And we had a lot of, like, when you be in the streets and shit, you have a lot of niggas that you fuck with, like, different cliques of niggas and shit like that. But you didn't really fuck with them really like that. You know your inner circle clique niggas that you know who you fuck with. But it was certain parts of niggas, they was cool. Cause they most likely was beefing with niggas we was beefing with, but we was cool, but you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Unless them niggas be like, hit us up and be like, yo, we need y'all to ride with us or some shit like that. But other than that, or y'all, or they with us or something like that, then we'll ride. You know what I mean? But if we heard some shit that happened to them niggas, unless them niggas hit us up and was like, yo, we need y'all ride with us on some shit, then yeah. But nigga, we stayed with our clique, nigga. We didn't go out and try to hurt niggas because we fuck with some other niggas, because they probably was beefing with some niggas we know nothing about. But it just is what it is. It's complicated in a way, but it's really not for me, because I understood the streets. I like, you don't get out the gate on, because it's some niggas you fuck with, but you don't fuck with them really. Like, it's not that you don't fuck with them, they ain't your niggas. Like, they ain't your main niggas, but they some niggas you fuck with like that. And there might be one or two niggas over there that you really genuinely fuck with like that. So you might go ride with that. You might go ride on some shit like that. But if something happened to them, but niggas that's in that clique you don't know, you don't fuck with like that, no, you don't go ride on no shit. Nigga, you let them niggas handle it. Or maybe like, if you see that they tell you the nigga that supposed to did it or something, you be like, yo, the nigga up here, blah, 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 we seen him. Some shit like that, but you don't put your niggas at risk like that. You let them niggas handle that. You put the word out for them niggas. You know what I mean? Unless that bond with that other clique of niggas is like that, then yeah, you may go do some shit. You know what I mean? You may handle it for them. But it just it all kind of depends though. You know what I mean? But your niggas should never fear you. That's all, my whole point. Let's move on.
I push peace for them. It's nothing for you to sue.
Okay,
King
so
bro,
your
your sons were into, listen, mom. Your sons were into it. They both
somebody
did.
died behind
Let
it?
it go.
Did he
Let
pay
it go.
$100,000 to
It was
kill somebody? Y'all can get the
It was
fuck up.
nothing on your
Bitch,
son's
fuck
head.
you,
It was
mom.
nothing on
Bye,
your son's head. It was nothing on your son's head. Y'all
baby.
delusional,
Bye,
baby.
baby. Stay
Y'all
upstairs,
delusional,
bitch.
baby.
He kept me
Y'all
with the
delusional.
music.
Y'all are
He
delusional.
kept me with the
Y'all are
music.
delusional.
They
Y'all
couldn't
are
stand it.
delusional.
They
Y'all are
She said they kept it with the music. Let me say this. Mama Duck is lying, or she delusional. She said they kept it with your son kept it with the music. How the fuck you know that? That's number one. Then number two, he wasn't bigger than them. He was a local rapper in a way, right? This is why I don't know if it's a Chicago thing, but you know, you don't get families interacting with their kids beefing or family members beefing with one another. You just don't do that. I don't know if it's a Chicago thing. It might be a Chicago thing. But you see how she didn't even want to listen. Right? Now, to King Von's sister, you don't know if King Von put a bounty on his head. From what we do understand, he most likely did. So that's not true. But then number two is, you know what Mama Duck should have did instead of doing all this bullshit she did? She should have been trying to get all those mothers to come together. But like I told y'all, when you in them streets, your parents is almost kind of like into that shit too. You put your parents in that shit. So and then the thing is too, she's putting herself into this shit. She's delusional. She's like intentionally beefing with King Von mother and shit like that. or family members and shit like that. So this is how I know that she knows that her son was out there in them streets like that. Your son don't just get to beefing with a nigga like that if he wasn't a street nigga. If King Von was a street nigga, why is King Von dissing this nigga? Right, that's number one. Think about that. Then number two, if your son wasn't on that street shit, then why was he talking about their dead homies? Was he playing? I mean, what the fuck? Mama Duck, sit your ass down. Listen, people. I never like that people play with street shit. Right? Regardless if I'm out of it or not. I don't like people that play with that shit. And that goes for mothers. And parents, you just say parents. Or family members, stop playing with that shit. You know who your son was. Just like if you know who King Von was, you knew. Why the fuck would King Von be beefing with your son? Why would your son be talking about his dead homies? Why? Over music? You a fucking liar. It ain't just over no fucking music. Do people even know this? You know King Von and Duck, they used to hang back in the day before they turned enemies? Do y'all know that? They was homies. So what the fuck is she talking about? She pretending that she don't know how this... Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, I don't even know her son. I don't even know King Von. I ain't even from Chicago. And I know this shit. First, she sit there and try to pretend she didn't even know. Told King Von's sister, "Oh, you know, hey, don't talk to me. Talk to the lawyer." Acting like she got nothing to do with the case. Like the lawyers came to her and say, "Hey, we gonna sue Dirk and we gonna sue King Von estate." Get the fuck out of here. Mama Duck should be ashamed of herself. Genuinely. She should be ashamed of herself. She's bad. She's bad for the community. She's a bad trying to be inspiration. She said some shit a while ago. She said that I guess dude J Mane, she asked him for some money. He wouldn't even give her no money. I wouldn't have gave you no money either. You misrepresenting the culture. Listen, and I'm not knocking the nigga peace shit or the niggas trying to bring peace. I get that. But that's not how you niggas do that. First of all, you gotta do a ceasefire first before you bring any type of peace. The reason I say that because I know that. That's how my little homie got killed. I talk about it all the time. Nigga broke the peace treaty even before I got in the game. He it was a peace treaty between my older cousins. And they brokered a peace treaty. And I know about it. My niggas know about it, so that's why we didn't do too much to them niggas. And then my little man come, and he breaks the peace treaty. And that's how he got killed. I was at my aunt's funeral, and man, we was talking about that shit, me and my cousin and shit. And he was like, but I understand why, my little homie and shit, talking about my little homie, he's like, I understand why he was upset. I get that. But I told the nigga to chill, let me handle it. And before I even got, before I got to, try to squash that shit, he already retaliated. Because they didn't know this nigga. They didn't even know he was with us. He was new. He wasn't even from outside. They never seen this nigga. So they, it was rules. It was shit in that peace treaty that you had to do and didn't do. He didn't know nothing about it. So, but then I told him. I said, yo, it's a peace treaty. I said, yo, hold on. All right, let me handle that. Before I even handle it, he sparked the beef already. Because he retaliated. And that's how shit happens. So when I tell motherfuckers, they talking about peace treaties, nigga, listen, a peace treaty go deeper than what you think it is. Because niggas done killed niggas' homies. It's a way you supposed to peace treaty that. You gotta have real serious niggas around you to broker that. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it's fucked up, but it's true. If a nigga in my clique, well, I got a peace treaty, right? And they break that peace treaty, that nigga's fair game. He's fair game. Unless we can work something else out with that. Like real talk. And even back in the day and shit, say if a nigga beat a nigga up or something like that, and we had a peace treaty, one of my niggas beat a nigga up. Or something on their side. They beat a nigga up on my side. Nigga, or they jumped them or whatever, right? Something happened. Nigga, they do that fair one and we squash it. Right? But if a nigga got shot in that peace treaty or nigga attempt to try to kill a nigga, then nigga, only thing that could probably fix that is probably some bread. And that's a maybe. And that's what happened with my other little homie. That's why he got killed. Because there was nothing we can do. Because niggas was like, yo, we gonna kill him. Ain't no bread, none of that. Nigga tried to kill one of my niggas, like, no. And we had to respect that, but I told the niggas, I say, all right, cool. But I said, if that nigga with us, that shit ain't happening. You catch him slipping, then it's on from there. That's why one of my little homies is dead now. I'll tell you, the one that died in my arms. That's why. That's why he dead. Because it was nothing I could do about that. It wasn't no money. I tried to throw money at it. Niggas, we had a peace treaty. Nigga, it's like, nah. They was like, nah, ain't no money, none of that shit. Ain't no fair one, none of that, nigga. He shot a gun. Tried to kill a nigga on outside. Nah. God rest my man Yoda life, man. Try to say that nigga, but it wasn't nothing I could do about that. I told the nigga, the only thing that could have saved that nigga if he just would have moved out the state. But it wasn't nothing. And he was getting ready, like he was a good kid too, man. He ran track and shit. He was getting ready to go to some college up there in New York. He had a scholarship. He won one of the best schools in Baltimore at the time, high schools, and he was getting ready to leave, bro. But we was trying to protect him, keep trying to protect him, but they got him. And I was, so this day that shit fucked me up. You can't break, like, you break peace treaties, bro, or you create a peace treaty. You gotta know, motherfuckers gotta know what the peace treaty is. And then if some nigga come and they ain't from where you from and they fuck with you and they do some outside shit, like they not outside shit, but some outside niggas they don't know this nigga and they don't know that he with them or whatever. Like, that shit. It can go left. That's what happened to two of my little homies. That's why both of them dead. One survived. Shit. One survived maybe 6 months, maybe. The other one survived some years. And nigga still got. That's why I tell people, like, that street shit is real. Don't downplay street shit. Don't glorify it, but you don't, especially if you ain't a part of it or never been a part of it. Don't glorify it. Or even if you used to be a part of it, you still don't glorify that shit. But you don't downplay that shit. That shit is what it is. Niggas died in that shit. Motherfuckers always trying to pretend the streets ain't the streets. The streets is the streets. Let's go to a quick commercial break, people. We'll be right back. All right, people, I'm back from quick commercial break. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF, the real Cash App, and donate to the channel, people. We highly appreciate anything you guys could donate to the channel. Need more information to subscribe and donate to the channel? It's down there strolling below the screen. Make sure you guys hit the like button when you come in and out of the building, and make sure you guys share the videos, man. It keeps the movement pushing. Yeah, man, like, it was, one of my little cousins asked me and shit. And they asked me, like, did somebody, like, push me into, being a part of the street shit, right? Because my little cousins, they growing up in a different generation, right? And it's not like that for them, in a way, right? And I told him, I said, it was a couple of my little cousins said this to me, but I told him, I said, in the beginning, I didn't, like, I was poor, but I wasn't poor, right? Like, I was poor, but in a way of like I didn't get what everybody else would get, right? My generation was different, right? So, like, my mom, she had me young. I'm only like, my mom's only 14 years older than I am, right? So, how can I put this? Like, cause I remember what they said to me. I just can't remember exactly what I said. Um, and I told them, I said, listen, everybody's struggle is. I told them, I told them this for a fact. Everybody's struggle is different, right? But for me, the reason I didn't have to get in that shit young, cause even though my mom's was on that shit early, my mom's was getting high when she was like 15 years old, right? She was getting high. After years go past, yeah, she got worse, but you know, my first, I always tell people my first probably about especially when I could kind of comprehend or what was going on around me, I probably was maybe about 7, right? Like, I'm actually poor. Like, I actually get it. Like, I ain't got shit. My mom on that shit. That's when I really got it, when I was about 7. And probably, no, I say 6. It wasn't even 7. It was 6. I was 6 years old. And so for me, I already kind of knew that at 6, I kind of knew what my circumstances was. Did I really comprehend my circumstances and understand my environment? No, not at fucking 6 and 7 years old. Hell no. But I didn't have to get in that shit right away. I had enough. It was different back in the day, in the 80s and shit, right? It was still a community. Like, people would take care of people. You know what I mean? You see kids not eating like that. You know what I mean? It was adults that still was good people then. And so they would, they see you didn't eat, or come on over here. Your mom ain't home. Come on over here and eat. You know what I mean? It was still stuff like that. So I kind of survived the 80s, right? Being young, right? But when I got in the 90s, shit was different. It just, like, people always talk about the crack epidemic. It hit very hard in the 80s. It did, right, if you was in your teens. But as a young kid, I wasn't in my teens, it really didn't really hit me that much. But when I got in the 90s, right, when I got older in the 90s, the fucking crack epidemic, you seen the after effect of that shit. Like, you seen, like, people that was respected in the hood, as far as, like, the adults that worked 9 to 5s, they lost every fucking thing. Like, they was just getting by. Motherfuckers was on welfare. Like, it was bad. People ain't had their lights, and it was shit like that. I was one of them. Like, so, as far as, like, your family members, like, or your mom and father or some shit, like, it was bad. So I always tell people, and I'll tell my cousins and shit, like, I got in the game because it was just my environment. Because I think when I probably got in the game, right, because I had just moved back from like, in the county, like, right, like I was in Ohio, and I was living with, like, my family members. They was gangsters out there, but I still was living okay. But it was still gangster shit, but I still lived okay. And then I moved back. I lived with my dad, and shit for like a year, maybe like a year and a half, maybe. And you know, you living in the suburbs, so shit is okay out there. But my dad mistreated me and shit like that, and the shit didn't go right. And he treated my stepsisters and shit, you know, better than me. You know, even my sister, my younger sister that grew up with me, and so the shit wasn't right, right? Like you know, it just felt like shit was just never right. Even in all them situations that I was in, it just wasn't right, right? If something always went fucked up, and so, and then when I moved back to Baltimore when I was about 14, and you know, shit just it's real in the 90s at that time. This shit is real, and I'm older now. I'm not like young, so this shit is real. Mind you, I ain't been in Baltimore for a couple of years, so shit is real. And I'm in high school, so you know, shit just. I always tell people the shit just went downhill from that. My mom was clean, she just got clean and shit like that, but she wasn't on her feet and shit like that. And I was living with my grandmother. I came back living with my grandmother and shit. And my grandmother, she was working, but she really wasn't there. And you know, me and my dad, you know, whatever, you fell out because I just was living with him. We fell out, so he wasn't giving me advice. He wasn't there. I had no male figures and shit like that. My uncles, aunts, and all of them, they was partying, and you know, on both sides of my family, they partying, getting high. Like it wasn't just my mom getting high. My aunts, uncles, everybody was getting high. It was like, yo, like, you know what I mean? A lot of my cousins and shit that was older, my age, like they was selling dope. Like, so it's like I grew up in the environment. So I had a choice in a way to kind of not do that. But when you just in that shit like that, when you are part of that lifestyle and it's an everyday thing that you see, you just kind of just be a part of that shit. And that's how a lot of young folks kind of get in that shit. You kind of just, listen, I always tell people I was born into this gangster shit. A lot of my uncles and shit was, you know, my dad was a gangster. Like, so my uncle was a hitman. I had older cousins that got busy. They was dope dealers. Like, so I grew up around this shit. I grew up around it. Even when I was younger, like 7, 6 years old, like, that's all I knew. That's all I seen. So I looked up to the niggas in my neighborhood that used to sell dope. That used to hit me with a cup of I say, nigga, go play baseball. Used to go buy, you know, me and the dudes I used to hang with, go buy our jerseys and our uniforms and shit for us. So like, I just grew up around that shit. So I just tell people like, hey man, it was different for me back then. Like, I just grew up in that type of environment. And like I said, when you young like that and you grow up in, it's like some of these young niggas now, you just grow up in that shit. You don't see no way out. You don't see like, oh, I can do this and I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't see that shit. That's why when people be sitting there, it's like, well, they could have did this, they could have did that. How? You don't know what the fuck they circumstances. You ever be in a motherfucking house where ain't no water running? Ain't no electricity in that motherfucker? When you got mold and shit in the house? Lead and shit like that that's fucking your mind up? Like, you know what I mean? You don't even know the effects of that shit. Hey, yo, these kids grow up fucked up too. Like, probably not as worse as I did, but they growing up fucked up. You born in this shit. You born in that. You born in this shit, man. You gotta understand that, like, I was born in the Reagan era. So where like Oh, shit was fucked up, bro. You know, listen. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, yo. Sometimes I don't even know how I made it out of that shit. Honestly, like it's a couple of my niggas that made it out of that. A lot of my niggas ain't made it. Even some of the niggas I fuck with, they still kind of like dealing with that shit. They don't even know how to get out that shit. Like I got a nigga that all he out of it a little bit, but all he know is to hang with them niggas. Niggas that we used to fuck with in the streets or just want to be around that environment. You know what I mean? They need that shit. Like, I just was never that dude. Like, I listen. I never say hate, but I didn't like being poor. Like, I went weeks without eating. I tell people that all the time. Like, people think I over-exaggerated. No. Me and my sister, we went weeks without eating. So, no, I don't miss that. I don't miss being poor. Shout out to Ron in the building. What up, Ron? I don't miss being poor, bro. I don't miss the streets either. I don't miss none of that shit. I don't miss being paranoid. I don't miss people trying to take my life and shit like that. I don't miss that, or trying to fuck with me or try to jump me and shit like that or beat me up. Like, I don't miss none of that shit. Like, people don't really genuinely understand that. Like, you gotta think about it. Even for me at a certain point, even a lot of niggas that come from that street shit, it's a persona you gotta put on. You gotta, you don't want to be fucking tough all day, bro. Honestly, a real street dude will tell you that. You don't want to be tough all day or act tough all day. You don't want to be acting tough all day. Like, you just don't want to do that shit. But, the environment makes you gotta move like that. So no nigga don't even attempt to try you like that. And if a motherfucker even attempt to try you like that, then you gotta do some shit that you may not want to do to a motherfucker. But you got a door to let motherfuckers know, nigga, I ain't that one. I ain't that motherfucker to play with. You get what I mean? Regardless of what you think, I ain't that motherfucker to play with. So, like, always tell motherfuckers, the streets ain't always gravy, people. It ain't always gravy to be there. It ain't all good. That street life it's stressful. I always tell people, living in the streets or growing up in the streets and being in that type of environment, it put years on your body and your mental. Especially your mental. Your mental, like I always tell people, I'm always like, yeah, I'm 43, but I'm like, mentally, I'm like, I feel like I'm fucking like close to 50. You know what I mean? I'm in my late 40s. That's how my mental is. Because that shit put pressure on your mental. It fucks you up. Especially you see people dying, seeing people you love on that shit. You know what I mean? Shit, you're not even, I ain't even comparing, like, I ain't say compare, I ain't even bringing up I'm gonna bring it up, but, a lot of people don't even bring up, like, the shit that's happening in their own family, like, you got family members getting molested by other family members and shit like that. Like, that shit put a toll on you, man. And you know about it and you don't speak on it because you're a kid or, you know what I mean? I've been through some shit, people. That's why I told people I try not to judge so much. I just try to tell people I understand, but not try to endorse if niggas do fuck shit. You know what I mean? I just try to give people a little hope or a little understanding. Like, I understand, I get it. But let's channel that pain in another way. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to go down this road to some fuck shit. You know what I mean? I always tell people, I don't know what it was that saved me. I really genuinely don't. I honestly, I look back at a lot of that shit I've been through, a lot of that pain and shit. I don't know what really changed me. Like, kind of like, I had to do better. Like, I just don't know. I just know that it was people that kind of knew who I was, that kind of like, yeah, he got a lot of fuck shit with him. You know what I mean? I'm on some fuck shit, but we gonna try to protect him. And I believe I got protected a lot, not even knowing how I was getting protected. You know what I mean? And like I said, it just wasn't my time. And like I said, my heart was good too. And it's about the energy that you put out. The bad karma. That's why I told people when I do shit wrong, karma come quick to me. It don't be no shit of like, oh, yeah, you know you put this bad energy and fuck some shit up and you hurting people. No, my shit didn't work like that. When I fucked up, bad shit happened to me. Still, even now, and as a grown-ass adult. I fucked up, bad shit happened. That's how I look at it. Life is life, but some shit, I'll be like, yo, that shit shouldn't have happened. I know better. Right? But when shit happened and you know better and it still happened, and you make the mistake or you fuck up and it happened, I look at that shit was like, I did some shit. I fucked up. I did some shit and can't remember what I did, but I probably did some stupid shit. And then karma hit me. Because like I told you, that man, that big man upstairs, he know my heart. But it don't matter. You fuck up, you hurt people, or you do something that you ain't got no business doing. And you not being true, not being real. I believe that big man, he'll touch me real quick. Hey, nigga, okay. Oh, you just did that? Okay, there you go. You fucked up. So, some fuck shit get ready to happen to you. The only thing I appreciate that the big man does, because I know I got a good heart, it's like, hey, I'm gonna hit you with a little something, but I ain't gonna take everything away from you. And I appreciate that. Keep me on my toes, keep me focused and shit like that. Because I can, for me, I can kind of go off the rails a little bit. You know what I mean? But I'm going to tell y'all some real crazy shit, right? And y'all might know this. Y'all might know this, right? But when I went to my aunt's funeral and shit, right? And I hung around all my family members and shit, right? And I'm gonna be real. I love my family and shit like that on both sides, right? But I never feel like when I'm around them, I never feel like I'm family to them. And I can't explain it in a way, right? But I just know how I feel. Like when I'm around them, I don't feel like they my family. And I know that I didn't do anything to hurt them, like, you know what I mean? Or even vice versa in a way, right? But I just never feel like I belong. And the crazy shit about that is, right? I talked to like one of my homeboys that I really fuck with and I love like that. That'll give me brutal honesty, right? And y'all know I fuck with it. I sit down with my therapist too. And it, it was crazy because the thing they told me, they said, maybe it's just spiritually. And you never felt that spiritually even from the beginning. Like, even when I was born. Like, I don't feel close to my mom or my dad, or like I just don't feel close to even a lot of my cousins and shit. Like aunts and uncles, I don't. I just genuinely don't. Like, I just don't feel close to them like that. Right? I love them. I know they my family and shit. And I get it, but I don't ever feel no connection. I never feel connection. The bad part about that shit is, or you can look at it as bad or good. When it comes to my niggas, I feel more connected to them than I feel connected to people in my family. And I always felt that way. And it could be, right? That's why I say I can understand people that been adopted and shit like that. Like, I can understand them. I can like feel where they come from. I didn't have no parents. Like, I don't feel connected to my dad. I don't feel connected to my mom like that. Like, I just don't. And they was around in my life, but they wasn't around. Like the bad shit, a lot of the bad shit that happened to me, or the shit that I was going through emotionally and mentally, my family really, really wasn't around. And then on both sides of my family, you can't talk about your feelings like that. Especially not back in the day like that. Definitely not. But even now, I can't have a real genuine conversation with them. Like a heart-to-heart type of shit. I still can't have that. Even with my grandma. Love her to death, but can't have that. I told you. When my aunt passed away, listen, people. My aunt passed away, nigga. That was the first time I ever seen my grandmother ever cry. For all 43 of my years, never seen her cry. My aunt passed away, which was her daughter, I get it. But I ain't never seen her cry. Shed a tear. Or was broken. Like, you can see a part of her was hurt. Never seen that. Ever. And I don't know, y'all. Like, I just don't feel connected to none of them. Love them, but don't feel connected. And the bad part about it is that, like, I don't even want to hang around them. Honestly. That's why I don't go to shit. You know. My fucking therapist told me, she said maybe it's just because that when I finally understood who I was as a person, right? Or like kind of like got out that environment, I see shit for what it is, right? And I see people for who they really are. So I can't connect to them, right? But then she told me a part of it is because I feel abandoned, right? So, and that comes from my mother and father. And then me can't genuinely have the conversation with my mom or my dad. I just treat everybody that way. Like I feel abandoned by them. And most likely she's right. So, you know, and that's probably why I don't feel connected to them no more. I feel abandoned by my mom. I feel abandoned by my dad. That shit is a wrap. Like, for me, like, I just don't know how, like, I'm grown. Like, you, it's like, for even both of my parents, it's like, excuse me, having an emotional conversation with them, it just don't feel right. Right? Like, and I don't think they want to have that, you know? It's like almost like we gotta be, something bad gotta happen for them to want to sit down and have that conversation, you know what I mean? But I'd rather want to have that shit when I'm in a good space. You know what I mean? Because I'm more understand. I can understand more. I'll be willing to understand them more, but they just don't want to. You know, it is what it is. You can't make people do something. You know what I mean? You can't. You know, you can't make people feel a certain type of way that they don't feel. And you know the bad part about it? If my daughter ever came to me and said, like, Dad, I don't feel connected to you or want to have a real conversation with me, right? In that conversation that me and her would have, I'll be crying because I'll be like, damn, my kid feel this way about me. She don't feel connected to me. What I gotta do? You know what I mean? It's just shit crazy, man. Shout out to L. Said family ain't always blood. Yeah, I've been knowing that shit for years, bro. It's just, it bothered the shit out of me because when I went to my aunt's funeral, and we all said good shit to each other. We was like, yo, we gotta get connected and shit like that, right? We gotta keep being on to each other and call each other. Even if we don't call, you don't hear, somebody gotta pick that fucking phone up. Ain't none of that happen out of that. I did it a couple of times. You know, and I know they did Thanksgiving without me, right? I ain't want to go because I don't know if I wanted to like see if they would call me and be like, yo, you don't remember, nigga? Thanksgiving, nigga. Where the fuck you at? Like, I didn't hear none of that. It was almost like everybody went back in their corners and they did whatever, no phone calls. It was like, I remember when I always call everybody. Like, I would do that. And it was always this excuse, or it was always something like, oh, my bad. Okay, cool. And so it's like, I said to myself, I said, if nobody hit me up for this Thanksgiving, I ain't fucking with it. I'm not fucking with, I'm not doing it. You know, and I know it was, I know, and the bad part about it, I always have, that's why I told you my heart is good. Because I always have
Here
this.
are the product details from Amazon. Transformers open ear headphones, wireless Bluetooth.
What the fuck is you talking about?
I can add this to your cart or shopping list if you'd like.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I done pressed the button, people. My bad. But yeah, like, excuse me. I just, you know. Excuse me. I always tell people it's about a connection. I just don't feel it with my family. I just genuinely don't. I love him, but you know and I think the bad part about it is that I change, but I'm still who I am. And I think a lot of motherfuckers, they can't get that. Like, you know, you see my growth, but I'm still who I am, though. I haven't really changed like that. Like, my morals and principles are the same, right? Like, I'm still kind of who the fuck I am. And I think that bothers both sides of my family. No lie to you. I ain't a flip-flop nigga like that. Like coming from the streets, that's what helped. That's kind of who helped raise. Like the streets helped raise me, who I am, even on morals. Right? I took some of the good shit of the morals and how I supposed to be, but you know, maybe I don't know. Like I said, I can't tell you, cause I don't have conversations with them, so I can't tell you what that shit is. Let's go to a quick commercial break, people. We're right back. All right, people, we're back for a quick commercial break. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when y'all guys come in the building. Make sure you guys share the videos, man. It keeps the movement pushing. Listen. Shit. All right, man. Look, I'm gonna be out for about a week. Probably to this week, next week. Yeah. Probably yeah. I'll be off for this week. I probably don't go live till probably about maybe what's the date? Monday? Next Wednesday. I probably don't do another live stream till next Wednesday. we in peak season right now, people, so I'm working a lot, man. My hours is crazy, so like, yeah, I'm off tomorrow, but I got some shit to do with the family. Make sure they good and shit. And plus, you know, my daughter get homeschooled, so that's part of it. Because I usually work on Tuesdays, but I gotta work Wednesday, so my shit crazy. And my weekends is basically gone. Like, you know, Friday I ain't doing shit. I'll probably just chill the fuck out, rest up, and then I go to work Saturday, Sunday, you know. So, all right, man. Listen, I do this because, like I said, I'll probably be out till next Wednesday. Probably do a live stream next Wednesday. I'll let y'all call in, man. Say what y'all want to say, man. Give me a second. Let me grab the phone and shit. I had to charge that motherfucking phone because I left it off the charger. So I'm gonna let y'all call in, man. Y'all talk for about an hour. We're gonna do about an hour. All right. Let y'all call in. Give me 1 second. All right, people. I'm back. Should have sent my daughter up there to get my goddamn phone. All right. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all call in, man. Speak y'all piece. Go ahead and call in. Hold on, let me put the number up. Yeah. Go ahead and call in, man. You got an hour, call in, speak your piece, talk about whatever you want to talk about. It don't necessarily gotta be this topic. Talk about any topic. We talk about it. Somebody fucking texting me. I don't know who the fuck that is. Go ahead and call in, y'all. Got the number up. Go ahead and call in, man. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. call in, talk about sports, politics, whatever you want to talk about. Shit, I gotta bring out my portable charger out this bitch. Shit, you can ask me questions if you want to. Oh, Jason. Oh, my bad. Jason. Oh, my bad. What up, Jason? My bad. I got a new phone. Y'all ain't trying to call in tonight? Come on and call in. Number up there. Call in. Tell me a date and time. I'm in peak season work right now, so just let me know. One of my homies here, doctor. I ain't talked to him in a minute. Shit, that motherfucker tutored me when I was in college too. When I did that one semester, I still say fuck that shit. What? College wasn't for me, but he was tutoring me and shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. Always been a friend of mine. That's why I said my life be crazy, bro. As I know like people that's like doctors and lawyers and shit like that. And for me to be like a hood nigga and know people like that and they fuck with me like that, like that's why I said my experiences is crazy. Like I've been around people, man, and been friends with people for a long, long time. Shit. He want to do it tomorrow. Okay, when and where? I'm off tomorrow. And what time? He would eat. They want to take me out to dinner. Give me some drinks. It's my guy, though. Now, hey, now mind you too, right? And my dude, right? That's why I told y'all I'm well rounded. He gay and he married with a husband. It's my guy. That's my motherfucking dude. That's why I tell people, man, fuck you being mad at gay people for, man. All the gay people I know, good people. I know a lot of good people, man. You just gotta get out to meet people and stop being afraid of somebody because they different from you and shit like that. Like, people gotta stop that shit, man. Go ahead and call in, people. Y'all see the number? Go ahead and call in. I know y'all got something to say, man. Just let me know the place. I'm good with it. Oh, ain't nobody got nothing to say tonight. Okay, cool. All right, I'm up out of here, man. Hit niggas behind the hit my niggas behind the scenes. We'll do that. Just ain't nobody got nothing to say. Nobody want to call in, man. Where's that at? North, south, east, or west? All right, man. Nothing but love for me, man. Peace and love to the world.